viewer viewers, hello and hi to you from the famous Eastern Parkway. Of course, we're in the judges panel, and this is where we were yesterday, judging the bands crossing the parkway.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So basically, we just shook and hi, Mr. Lennox. Right. So we're sitting here with Destiny. Well, we'll tell you more about her. But yes, we're viewing the parkway, and yesterday there were so many bands parade in the parkway, and we sat here in the judges panel and we enjoyed viewing the bands that crossed yesterday. So we hope everyone enjoyed the Labor Day weekend. And I saw on Facebook Mad Vibes, good day to you, Mad Vibes. He couldn't be here for Labor Day, so he was like, "Oh, I hope you remember, after Labor Day, we go straight into winter." Right, Bessie, you did it?
I did it.
He did it. He did it. He behind the camera as usual.
Yeah.
So every time we do a video, there are many people who view our live or videos or pictures, whatever we post. And we always see Destiny Calder. We have never met her as yet. Like with so many people over here, we have never met them, but they're always commenting. We are viewing from New York, we are viewing from wherever.
Maryland,
and
everywhere, yeah.
it's a pleasure finally
It's a pleasure
meeting
to finally meet you, Rena and Basie.
Of
Thank
course.
you guys for doing this interview. I was so
it's a
anxious
pleasure.
to finally meet you guys. I missed you all at the kayak day, but you guys are here, so
Exactly. So I remember you messaging and say, after the Grenada Day, I remember you messaging to say you wasn't able to come to the Grenada Day, but you want to catch up with us at the Karaoke Day, so you're coming over.
yes, definitely. I wanted to meet you guys. I see you guys at home, but we never did get a chance to talk when I come home.
Okay.
So I admire you guys. I mean, because you bring us home away from home. I never feel like I'm missing anything, even though I was in dire need to go home, but you can't make it to every festival that's happening. So when you guys bring the messages on, the tapes and stuff, I always look forward to that. So like I say, you bring me home away from home.
It's
So I appreciate what you guys are doing. Always giving us the good stuff. So I share and spread the word.
Yes.
Yeah.
We always ask people to follow, to subscribe, and to you who are viewing as well, you do the same so that many other people out there can be blessed. What we aspire to do is to bring karaoke and Pitimatic, especially Grenada by extension, but we're more based on karaoke and Pitimatic, trying to bring it to the people, especially to you out here in the diaspora. And as you say, it is like being home away from home.
And that's one of the things, that's one of the things I admire with you guys, that you're so young and you're bringing the culture to us, and you could be doing other things, enjoying life.
Yes.
You go here, you go there, you go to Atlanta, you do the interview, you do everywhere. The way you spread yourselves, I mean, truly appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and myself and my brother Lennox and everyone is just in love with you guys.
That is so true, because most times, well, even now that we are traveling, we are on vacation, but while on vacation, we wonder, what can we do so that people would know more about karaoke?
Right.
So that's why we try to meet up even with people up here. I remember when we came up, we posted something saying, hey, we are in New York, and if you want to share your story, if you want to tell us about growing up in karaoke, we know that there are many people out there who will be blessed by that one little story one may say, or remind them of something that they did back then. Even people who cannot walk, they're in bed and they enjoy putting on the TV, the children may do it and they just look at what we are doing and they're reminded of karaoke. Even last week I spoke to my uncle. He's in England, London, and he haven't been home in ages. He said that his friends, when they come over, he always put on the TV and say, hey, come and see my niece and her friend, they're live, or they share the video. This is where I was born, or this is where I grew up. And
karaoke is very historic, so why not bring it out,
Of course.
Because my kids, they're all grown now, but they love listening to it as well, and I always send them stuff, so now they're following you as well. So, it's a very good thing what you guys are doing.
Thank you. So a pleasure. And we want to say a special thanks to everyone who support us, everyone who sponsor, everyone who give, everyone who just maybe send words of encouragement. We want to say a special thank you to you all. And by you doing that, it inspires us to continue doing even more for a small island, 13 square mile island,
Yeah.
Carriacou. Of course. And Petit Martinique too, 586 acres of land.
Oh yeah, Peter Martinique is important to me as well because my grandmother is from Peter Martinique. We're from the Clement family. My mom's mom. So yeah, we're related to
The Clements and
the Clements, yeah, as well. Big family.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Lovely. So your grandma from Petit Martinique,
Yeah.
and your mama and your papa are from Carriacou?
My mom is from Belmont, you know, under the Alexis. She married a Calder, but was an Alexis. You know, Kristen David's niece, you know, Nancy, everyone know Nancy, that was a sister. And my dad is from Mount Pleasant side.
Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you grew up in
Tang.
in
I'm a Tangni.
You're a Tongni.
I'm a Tangni. I'm a pro Tangni. Yeah.
And I mean, our last interview that we did growing up in Carriacou was with Miss Norma.
Yes,
and she spoke about Mount Pleasant.
Yes, I saw that was so interesting. All the dancing and everything going on. I always admire her too because she's even with the walker stuff. She moves. You know, she enjoyed life. Yeah. She told me the last time about my dad because they were neighbors, like his family where he came from in Mount Pleasant there. Because I don't know much about Mount Pleasant because there was no one really to tell the story. But so one of these days I'll sit and talk with her to get some more information on the background of my dad and where he grew up. You know.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a walking encyclopedia. She's so
full of knowledge.
Yeah. At the age of 87.
Could you imagine?
God bless her.
Yes.
God bless her.
Yeah.
Right. So you grew up in the village of Hillsborough.
Right by the Catholic Church.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what school you went to?
I went to Leicester Rosary School because, you know, like we very staunch Catholic. My mom was church. Whether, you know, I wasn't feeling well, whatever, she'd be in the choir looking back to make sure I'm in the church. So with that saying, we had to go to Leicester Rosary School because it's a Catholic school.
Okay.
So we went there, elementary, you know. I was very young, and from there I went to Hillsborough Government School.
Okay.
And after there, I went to junior sec, and then to America.
Were you born in Carriacou?
No, I was born in Aruba. And then my mom and dad and my brothers came back to Carriacou. I think I was less than 2, maybe a year and some. Okay. Yeah. So they'd built a house and then went back to Aruba. Then I was born, and then they came back when I was less than 2 years.
Okay.
So the house withstood the Janet. I think only a piece of galvanized came up because it was newly built, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Aruba was something back then. A lot of people went, especially from Carriacou, when they worked in Aruba and then came back home to build.
Yeah.
So when they travel throughout Carriacou, there are so many Aruba houses.
Yeah.
And they always say, God bless what money?
Lago. Yes, my dad worked at Lago, so it's even engraved on the cistern that was built in the house. It's still there, I'm sure. It says Lago Oil.
Oh, okay. Right.
So when I went to Aruba, I was very proud when I saw the refinery by the baby beach. And I was like, my dad had a hand in here, like, you know. Yeah.
So you traveled to Aruba from time to time?
Yeah, my mom and I went one time and then I went back another time. She was fun. She showed me where they grew up and I'm like,
oh, nice.
This way I grew up. Like, and the experience was so good, you know. And back there was so, I mean, to me it was not what I would think was good, but to them it was. For them it was, you know. So that was a good thing. Yeah.
Beautiful beaches, right?
Oh my God, yes, the baby beach. Yeah.
But Carriacou got better beaches, of course.
Of course, the famous Paradise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Paradise #1 and Aruba #2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you grew up in Hillsborough. I mean, what are some of the things you remember growing up in that in Hillsborough? I mean, you're in the town, of course.
In the town, everyone had to come to town. Whether it's to the best beaches in town there. At the back of us by Amigo was always very nice beach with the basin and stuff. So it was fun growing up. I mean, I was very protected, you know, restricted from doing a lot, going a lot. I think I went to one dance. I came to America at 17. I went to only one dance and I was accompanied by Lennox, I think, my brother.
So Lennox,
Because any bad behavior, she wanted him to report. Like I couldn't do nothing that bad at that age, you know. So yeah. So but it was fun growing up. With my brothers, I was a tomboy, and I went everywhere. Even going to Leicester School, I was between them on the truck. When Daddy Edmund would be passing, coming up after school, like we'll hop on the truck, he'll stop for us. He was a very nice, kind man. You know, he'll stop for us, we'll hop on the truck, and when we didn't get the ride, we'll just walk, you know, so it was pleasant.
lovely.
The childhood was very pleasant.
So you grew up right in Hillsborough by the beach. Can you swim?
No, no,
You can't swim?
no. I'm sweating you with that question. Yeah. No, I actually was afraid because my brothers would pick me up and, you know, throw me way in. And they still have to come for me because I'm struggling, and I was just always afraid of drowning, you know.
Yeah.
So as I got wiser, I kept running whenever they came on the beach because, you know, the house is just a stone throw away. So I was just looking out for them when they you know, come out the little path we had there and then just run. So I came to America and never did learn to swim, which is a big regret I have. Because even my granddaughters are swimming like, you know, dolphins, but I can't.
Don't feel bad about it. I cannot swim as well.
Oh, good.
And people always say to me, man, you live on an island and you
can't
cannot
swim. Yeah.
How
As
is
a matter of fact, I was on the boat one time. Was the Osprey
that?
coming in? You know, I just coming to Carriacou, and this guy Dave, rest his soul, Dave John. He said, Betty. Sorry, the ambulance. He said, Betty, look your house right there, you know, and you could swim. I said, swim. So I can see him say, gosh, girl, don't let people hear you say that.
Yes, people always tell me that too. But
Yeah.
my story is similar to yours. I remember back then, when we were very young, the villagers would come together every Sunday and we'll go to the beach.
Yeah.
And I remember Sunday, I mean, every time everybody coming on Bel Air and going to the back of Silver Beach there
Yes,
to swim.
that was a nice beach there.
Exactly. So I remember there was one of the villagers, he brought me out in the water and the water is reaching me
Oh
here.
my gosh.
And I walked back to the shore. I took my stuff. I cut him off. I went home and I never went back to the
again.
beach with them again.
Yeah, yeah. Because
As a
those
matter of
scary
fact-
times would keep you awake, you know.
As a matter of fact, I stopped talking to him for years.
Wow.
Even travel and me and him is that's to tell you how
Yeah.
scared and how bad it was.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can understand what you're saying, that you
Yeah.
cannot swim because of that same fear.
Yeah, yeah. And then I went on a tire one time, and the tide was taking me away, and I had to like hit the water for it to take me back to the shore. And then I
paddle.
tried getting down, and I wasn't touching bottom. So sometimes I have flashback just thinking about that. So I only go where the water could get me, like here and that. You know, it's still scary thoughts when I think of the water.
That's okay. One
Yeah.
day someone will teach us
One
to
day,
swim.
yes,
We'll
yes.
learn to swim one day.
Right, right.
Oh, helicopter is passive. Right, so you grew up in Hillsborough. I want to compare Hillsborough as compared to countryside. You used to work land, you used to do farming, you
I
used to
did.
rear animals.
I did. Well, yes, yeah. We had animals, and used to take them in the pasture in Brunswick there, or there was a pasture right behind the Catholic Church. It was right behind between the church and Millie's guest house. There was a big pasture there. So after school, I go home, wash my dishes, I would eat and stuff, and then I would be grazing my animal and them, like right there reading my book, you know, for school. Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, I had this special sheep, white one called Mary. It was good, and I deliberately used to touch the lamb when she had her babies, and just so that I could get to nurse the lamb, because once the mother would smell like a human touch, they would kick the kick the babies away, the lamb away. So I deliberately did that so that I could put the milk in a bottle and nurse the little lamb.
Oh.
So,
What? So you had the experience as well.
Yeah.
Long ago, we used to have a lot of cow milk and turn it into sour milk. You ever
yes,
had?
yeah, and then you beat it. My godmother lived in Belvedere. I used to go spend time with her, and she had me beating the milk in there to make like
Sour
cheese
milk,
or what.
cheese,
Yeah, I remember using the pestle.
beat
And water. That was a lot of work.
Right? I remember our grandfather had us do that. You put it in a bottle, had something below here, and you beat and you beat and you beat,
Yeah.
and then You take out the spread. I mean, that cheese, that was the best cheese I've ever tasted.
Really? I
mean,
can't remember
yeah.
how it tastes. I
Oh.
know I used to beat it, but I can't remember
I
eating
remember,
it.
I remember back then we had an outside oven, and that's the best bread you can get
Yes,
from any
yes,
oven.
yes, yes.
So the hot bread with that cheese, oh my
Wow.
God, my mouth is watering right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
I
the best.
water for the bakes. My mom used to make this big round bakes with the
Uh-huh.
3 stones on fire
Yes.
and the big flat galvanized thing over it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, she was a
Fire
great
on fire below.
Sorry.
I said fire on top and fire below.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. The outside food is always the best, you know.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And the good organic stuff that we grow in Caracruz.
yeah, yeah. The planting and all that.
So where
cassava.
you all had gardens?
Yeah, yeah.
Where?
We had garden the back of the house, and we
In
had
Hillsborough right there?
yeah, yeah, and then we had across the street.
Ah,
Yeah, with the plum tree. What that Guadalupe building is like
The
yeah.
garage thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That was our garden right in there.
Okay.
So we plant there. You know, like someone is digging with the hoe, and you walk behind, you drop the peas and the corn, and you cover with your foot. Yeah, I did all that. Pick the cotton and all that. You know, we used to take it to the mill. Like so much work to get the cotton, and yet you get such little money because the cotton is light. So I'd be like, why waste time just sticking that? Just make pillows with it because you're not getting much money for all the work that you do to pick the cotton and get the seeds out. Like your fingers would be messed up just because the seeds are so sharp.
Right.
Yeah, the point of it is very sharp.
Right.
The cotton seeds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. We did all that.
Well, Hillsborough very close to Dumfries. Do you know about the lime factory?
I've heard of it, but I've never really
Experienced.
been there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, even though we're speaking about growing up in Caracol, you have a message today to tell
Yeah.
about yourself, your health situation, and something that you went through, and you want to use it to inspire others.
Yeah.
So today, we want to thank you for your experience growing up in Caracol. I mean, it's similar to the country life, but the country life more hard, right?
Yes, yes, very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
But before we speak about that, what about festivals? Have you experienced festivals in Caracol? Or have you, since living here, came home for festivals?
Yes, I do. As much as I can. The maroon. This was the first year actually. Since I've been here that I came home from maroon, and I didn't
this
really.
year?
Yes, this year.
Okay,
I didn't
okay.
really come for the maroon, but I went to attend my cousin's funeral. She was my best friend and cousin, Sybil David.
Okay.
So when she passed, I went home, you know, for the burial and to show my respects. And it just happened that after that was the maroon, which
Okay,
I love.
in
It's
April.
yes, yeah, I love the maroon festivals. Like you guys just had so much planned for us, you know. Yeah, it was really beautiful. Especially, I think my best time was at the Dupa the Saturday.
Okay, the
from
drinks in the
the
city.
string band playing, and it was hot. It was really hot, but it was enjoyable.
I hope you danced the morning away.
I did. And then at the tennis court, there was another show there. Another tennis court, sorry, the Botanical Garden.
Okay, right.
There was a
nice
show there
activity.
too as well. Yeah, so I attended
Uh-huh.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay. So you went to the cultural explosion at the Botanical Garden.
Yes, yeah.
You saw where many of our traditions were fit here. There were quadrille.
Yes, and there were people from other neighboring islands
yes,
as well.
yes.
Yes, yeah.
That was, so how was that experience for you as compared to the strings in the city?
Well, it was the real thing, you know, because, I mean, here in America, whenever there's something happening in Brooklyn, like when I'm down, I'll go. But I think seeing it, experiencing it back home is quite different, you know?
Okay.
It's like the real thing.
And what
Yeah.
about the Sunday? You went to the beach as well?
Yeah, the
For
Sunday I went on,
the live
they had
band?
something in Paradise Beach there,
Right.
before you get to Paradise Beach.
Uh-huh.
That was nice, so crowded, and that was enjoyable.
Was
Yeah,
it
the
on a
music,
Friday
the stage,
night?
I was dancing in front of the stage. And
Lovely.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you get to experience the Friday night? That was a nice. We had the power failure.
Oh
That
gosh,
was
yes,
nice
yes,
to the
yeah.
flag
Well,
pole
that
and everything.
night we didn't. I missed the maroon thing in Belvedere. I think. It was,
Okay.
but I was up in town because we had like myself and my cousin Imogen, we were hanging, so we passed by a friend, but we didn't make it to Belvedere
Okay.
for the that maroon.
Okay.
But I heard it was really good.
Yeah, it was great. My one this year,
Yeah.
it was wonderful. And
Yeah.
I hope you encourage your friends to come for Maroon or come for other festivals.
Oh yes, I've been doing that. I'm like, I'm not missing the other one. This is my first Maroon since living home, and with God's help and grace, I'll be there for the others.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
So to you out there, we encourage you to come home for the Maroon Festival
Yes,
as well.
it's our culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the final Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the month of April yearly. So do come home to experience. That's when all our culture, our traditions are on one stage.
Yes.
Our food, our music, and our dances are celebrated during the festival. So do be sure to come home. And you mentioned the coconut. You went to the dance at the Coconut Bar.
Yeah.
Country Boys, I believe, was featured.
Yeah,
there.
yes, they were playing there too. Yeah.
So you enjoyed that. I mean,
I'm very proud of
loves
them because they're actually my cousins, Anselm,
Anselm.
and the James family. Yeah,
Right.
we also related. So yeah.
We have one of the country boy here.
Yes, Mr. Basie himself. Always very pleasant. He always very pleasant, you know? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So we were going into the special part of your interview. So I now hand it over to you.
Yeah. Well, this came about so suddenly because I was always everyone who knows me know that I'm always out partying and stuff. And so this came up very suddenly where I went to the doctor for a checkup because I was just feeling exhausted. My last daughter was like 3 months old and I'm like, something is wrong. So I drove myself to the doctor. And this was the first time I actually drove by myself. And it was on the Verrazano Bridge, which is one of the highest bridges, you know, that we have. And I drove to Staten Island to the doctor. And I was told that my liver enzymes were elevated. So I didn't know what that meant because I've never even heard of that before. But the doctor wanted to keep me to do a biopsy, a liver biopsy. And I'm like, no, I have to go home, take care of my kids. So he made me promise that I would come back the following day. So I went back the following day. They admitted me. And I was terrified, because he had to make an incision and then go down to take pieces up. And I remember him being so nasty because he wanted to go to see other patients and I couldn't make up my mind because I was, you know, scared. And he's like, make up your mind what you want to do because I have other patients to see anyway. So I said, okay, go ahead. And he did take the tissues and then I was discharged and I had to call him 2 weeks later. And I called and he said he didn't take enough tissue. So I was very disappointed because after going through all that, he didn't have an answer for me. So soon after that, we relocated to Pennsylvania, my husband, my 3 kids. And I was just going back and forth to doctor, traveling from Pennsylvania to Staten Island to get checked out every 2 weeks. It was a lot. So they were just doing tests, different tests. They ruled out lupus, they ruled out hepatitis and cirrhosis of the liver and all kinds of stuff. So it was like a little limbo thing going on. And that was 12 years of testing, hundreds of tests and everything. And the end results, my liver was scarred and inflamed. So I needed it out. So I had to go on the list. And my husband being in the military, I registered at Walter Reed in DC, and I had to go, you know, very often to get checked out and stuff. And because it's good when you're on the list to even be registered at other facilities, whether it's, you know, Brooklyn or Staten Island or wherever, so that if an organ becomes available, like, you know, you're registered to get it. And you get the organ based on how sick you are, on your blood type, and the weight of the organ. So when I registered at Walter Reed, my doctor, Dr. Batty, he promised me that if it's not good enough for his mom, no one's going to get it. So I felt very reassured that I'm going to get some good. And he kept his word because here I am 25 years later, doing pretty good. Thank God, knock on wood, I've never had an issue. So God's been good. And I'm trying to do my best to stay healthy. I have very good support. I have, you know, my brothers, you know, Lennox here and friends. The matter of fact, I just celebrated my 25th in St. Martin with a group of 25 friends, relatives and friends.
So
you know,
25 years after you're still here.
Yeah. So to go back a little, after the transplant, which took 14 hours, because we lived in Pennsylvania, and when you get the call, you don't know, of course, that you're going to get a call, right? Because it's when an organ becomes available. So unfortunately someone has to die, which I was having a hard time and still having a hard time that someone has to die for someone else to live. So when they called suddenly that Saturday, we had to, good thing family were visiting us in Pennsylvania, so we drove up to DC, to Walter Reed to get the transplant. I didn't know what to expect. I was just excited, you know. And I had it done at Fairfax because it's such a big organ, they do the big surgeries at Fairfax in Virginia, next door. So after the surgery, they brought me back to Walter Reed, and so that's the care that I was getting for a long time from Walter Reed Hospital. Yeah, so it's been very trying. You know, I gained a lot of weight at the beginning because a lot of medication that I have to take to stay alive, and now I'm just on I'm just on anti-rejection medication. Thank God. The others were weaned off, you know. So yeah, so it's been a struggle because I have to stay healthy, you know, eat right and everything. And I try to bring awareness to people. I had several celebrations. I did on a cruise. I did a celebration in Grenada. I do here every year, you know, small. But at the beginning, I was having something every year on around the dates. It's a bring, not for me, because I already got my organ, but I do this even now to bring awareness to people about the importance of organ donation. Because I remember when I had my transplant, I wanted to go to the various organizations here from Carriacou. I was discouraged. And I didn't take that lightly because I want to get emotional. But since then, so many people have, you know, had to have transplants, and I know some who have died from Carriacou because they didn't get an organ on time, or they didn't get it, period, or that it didn't work. So it's my platform to always be talking about organ transplants. I remember when I was home on vacation in Ethlyn, it's from Leicester. We were on the beach, and my cousin doing my hair, and I was telling her about the transplant, and she said, "Oh, my daughter in New York needs a transplant." Yeah, I'm like, so I said, okay, give me her information. When I get back, I would seek her out. So she gave me the information, and I came up and called the dad, which is George. Yeah, I called Martin George, and he told me about what's going on with Gina. That's the daughter's name. And I stayed in touch with them. And I remember I was working, and I took a week off because she got called for the transplant, and I came down and spent a week. I went in at Mount Sinai with them, you know, for support, and stayed there. And she had the transplant, which he donated half of his, because if you catch it early enough, you could just have half of someone's organ. With me, my whole organ had to come out. Okay. But they removed hers and gave her half of his because he had a healthy liver. Okay. So it grows back into a normal full-size organ. So they're both doing well. She had a daughter after. I think she's a teenager now. Martin is doing well as well. And yeah, and there are people from my job as well as family members. I have a cousin, Karen Nelson, when her daughter died, they donated her organs, even the eyes. Yeah, you could donate the skin, the eye, different things. The cornea, you know, because even my brother Robert had the cornea transplant done. And my cousin Nimrod John, his grandson passed over a year or so ago, and his daughter Beverly John Calder, she thought of me when they asked her at the hospital if she wanted to donate, because as long as you're brain dead, you could still do the transplant. So they kept him up until they had the people to donate to, and they donated, I think, 6 organs. Oh, and wow. Because me, I have co-workers like Miss Pressman, her sister passed. They donated the sister's organ and a few other people. So I feel good that I'm living how I want to live, to just be encouraging people about the importance of organ donation. We're not happy that someone has to die, but in the meantime, like I had a bumper sticker on my car that says, why take your organs to heaven? Because heaven knows we need them down here. So if it happens and you have the capacity to donate, you know, you can do that, because it's a gratifying feeling when you meet the family that you have donated to, you know, because if you hug someone that say you gave the heart to, it's your loved ones organ that's in here beating. So that to me takes away the pain. I am very fortunate to know Sandy Helm. That's the wife who donated her husband's organ to me. I didn't know her at first, but they sent me the information on her. I started to write a letter to thank whoever it was, but it was very hard. It was a very hard thing to do. And because I was feeling guilty that someone had to die for me to leave. But after she sent me a letter through the organization and told me all about him, and we became very close. I remember I brought her a thank you cake, and I brought one to the hospital as well, because I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for life. I'm just a very grateful person because I know that God has me here for a reason.
Oh my God!
So
you took the words from my mouth.
Yeah.
I was about to say God
Yeah.
wasn't ready for you as yet because you're here for a purpose.
Right.
And this is a purpose that you're here for, to teach people the importance of giving.
Yeah.
And also, you may not know one day it can be a family of yours who is in need.
Right.
So that's why it's important to always give.
Yeah. I a few years ago when I did the interview with Betty and Lazarus in Grenada on the TV station, she was broadcasting. For a lot of people told me they saw it. And this girl in Grenada who a little girl needed a transplant, and she contacted me. I was quite surprised. And we stayed in touch, and she was trying to come up to America because her dad was a surgeon in the military. And he was trying to get her, up here, but it was taking a while. So she ended up passing, not from the organ, but I think she was abused by a boyfriend, so she never did make it to come up here. And I felt so good that she had reached out to me, because I was giving her, she would have been at the same hospital where I went, with the dad living up there and stuff. So it was very disappointing that she passed,
So if someone wants to contact you, can they do that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
How?
Yeah, that's how come she contacted me, because I had left my number with the station.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you want to give your number here, or should someone message you privately? How can
Now
they
I have to
contact
give
you?
it out because if I don't, I'll be defeating my purpose.
Right.
So my number is 347
347
277
277
9212.
9212.
Yeah. So this, there are two posters from our celebration in St. Martin. She's celebrating 25 years.
The closer?
Yes. And I had a big one with Brian. That's his name.
So show us what's here.
Yeah. So these pictures are just pictures of me and my loved ones, family, friends, on the cruise, celebrating. This with who's here, as friends, and my daughters and my granddaughter. Yes, I have 3 beautiful daughters: Monique, Melissa, and Maria. And because I'm in Brooklyn, they couldn't be with me. But I have very good support from them and from my brothers and friends, who traveled. It was very expensive going to St. Martin, and the flight was very high, the hotel, the resort, everything. But they came to support me, and I can't, too many to call, But I appreciate you guys for coming to support me, and we had a fabulous week, and we're going to be doing it again.
Lovely.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again.
I'm so happy to hear that. And
Yes,
I'm so happy to know even one of our very own from Caracol, can be so inspirational.
Yeah.
And thank you for giving. Thank you for teaching people how to give, and yourself for giving. God have you here for a purpose.
Yeah.
And we want to thank God for having you here.
Yes.
You're here for a reason.
That's it.
Thank
That's
God.
quite true. I
Thank
just
God.
reached out to
Thank God.
Ansel. Because I found out that she also had a transplant recently. I think it's the kidney. Ansel from Caracol is up here. So I was so happy when I heard it. I didn't even know she needed one. But she's very jolly like me, And then I know Carl, Andrew, needs a kidney as well. So I've been talking to Bridget, and I hope you don't mind me talking about Carl, because he's a very nice boy, young man. And I'm praying for him. I'm praying for the family. And I hope that he'll get one in time. Fortunately, no one has to die for him to get one. So if anyone out there knows that anyone who is willing to donate any organ, that you could still be alive by donating an organ, especially the kidneys, you just have to be the same blood type and stuff. But make that call, and you won't regret it. It's very gratifying, saving someone's life.
They can call you.
Yes, definitely.
I love it.
347-277-9212. Organ donation works. I'm here 25 years in the making.
Happy Silver Jubilee to you.
Thank you, and thank you guys for doing this.
No
I do
problem,
appreciate it. My brother is always here supporting me. Sister Lennox is right there.
Lennox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Lennox Calder.
He said he's proud of her.
Yeah, he's my backbone.
Yes. Yeah, we're happy for this.
Yeah.
And
Thank you guys
so
again.
we're
I know
happy
you
that-
have a lot to do while you're up here, and
That's
you
okay.
made the time to see me.
That's what we do.
You truly appreciate it.
No problem, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Right, so anyone out there who is probably in need or who probably wants to give, please contact Betty. She'll make the way.
I make
Betty,
the way. It's my
she'll make the
platform.
way. She'll make the way.
Yes, it's what I live
God
for.
bless your heart.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless
Nice
you.
meeting you finally.
Finally.
Yeah,
God bless
yes.
you.
All right.
And we'll definitely keep in touch. Expect a
Definitely.
call from someone out there.
Definitely.
All right,
It'll
take
happen.
care.
All right.
And
Thank you again, Daisy.
Thank to you.
The
Thanks to you. All our
cameraman.
viewers. Thank you for viewing this another episode of our Growing Up in Carriacou. And Betty is so inspirational. She's giving back in so many ways. She's saving lives.
Yes.
Thank you again, and God bless. Until next time. Bye-bye.